Hi everyone, this is Teresa from Warragul in Victoria, Australia, and today I'm not just going to show you how to make a card, but I'm going to show you how to do the pattern as well. So without further ado, let's go down onto my grid paper down here. So we're going to draw the pattern up, and I like one of these pens that have got red, blue, green and black on it, because that way you can actually mark out cut lines. I use red usually, and a score line I usually use green. So the first thing you need to do is cut a piece of cardstock 15 centimetres by 25 centimetres. 15 centimetres by 25 centimetres. Now the good thing about doing it on the grid paper is you have your centimetres on here. So you can sort of see you've got 15 here and 25 here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do two score lines, and we're going to do one at 10 centimetres. So I would put this on our Simply Score tool, or you can do it on your paper trimmer. So score at 10 centimetres and then again at 15 centimetres. Okay, so we've got our two score lines. Then we're going to score at 10 centimetres to 5 centimetres. So we have our 5 centimetres down here, so we can look to see where it is, and we're going to score to 5 centimetres. Then I'm going to change the pen to red, and we're going to cut from 5 centimetres right across to 15 centimetres, which is the second score line. Okay, so now we've got 5, 10, 15, and this one here will be a 10 centimetre square. Okay, so let's go back the other way. So on this side we've got 25, and we're going to score, and we'll get our green one back again. We're going to score 5 centimetres on this side. Okay, so up 5 centimetres, and it'll be a 5 centimetre square. Then we're going to use the red pen, and we're going to cut from 20 centimetres to 10 centimetres, which is the second score line. Okay, then we're going to score at 20 centimetres, just up to that score line just before the cut line. So we've got our two score lines here, our one score line here, and at 5 centimetres up the top here we're going to score as well. So our pattern looks like this. It's 5, 10, 15, so they're 5 centimetre squares, then a 10 centimetre square, then 5, 10, 15, and then a 10 centimetre square. Now years ago when I had my shop, we used to do this in a bigger format, because it used to be a scrapbook layout, and you can do it on a 12 by 12, but we're actually adding some cut lines to make it a card. So without further ado, we're going to do that, but I would put your measurements on here, like I would put score on here, S-C-O-R-E, and I would put like 5 centimetres. And then I would go back to the red pen and just put cut line, and cut line. Okay, this is 10 centimetres, and this one down here is 10 centimetres, and all the others are 5 centimetres. So you can put 5 centimetres. It just helps you if you draw your patterns up, because you've always got them there when you need them. 5 centimetres and 5 centimetres. Okay, so this is a score line, and this is a full score line right through, so you put score, and this is from there right down to there, and the same with this one, score, and that one's from there down to there. Okay, so that's our pattern. So I'm just going to move that out of the way because we can keep the pattern. I'm just going to turn this over because I like to... Oh, that wasn't very clever of me. I've lost my corner, but that's okay. I like to use the centimetre side. Now, I've taken the time to already pre-cut my card, so I did, and it was in black, so I did score it up. It's 15 by 25, and it's got all these little score lines, so I'm just going to show you how to fold it. So it's going to fold up like this. Okay, so you can see that this is our 10 centimetre square here and our 10 centimetre square here. Okay, so I'm using the Poppy, it's the Peaceful Poppy, or the, the Peaceful Poppy Designer Series paper. I'm using the Poppy, what's the name of this Poppy one? Anyhow, it's the Poppy paper in the basic black. Sorry about that, just went blank. That's all right. So we need to cut 7 4.5 by 4.5. And they actually are going to go on here. Now, I have already added the flowers and that to these ones. So our basic black one, which is our next mat up, is going to be 4 by 4. And then our Designer Series paper is going to be 3.5 by 3.5. But these can be photos as well. You can have little photos. But I'm going to do it as a sort of as a card today. Okay, so I'm going to just add these. Now I did take the time to stick, because we've got 7 of them, the others together. I've just got one here to show you, but you do them all exactly the same, except if you've got photos, then you work out your photos where you want them. Okay, you can use Designer Series paper and photos, and you can use your embellishments as well on this as a card as well. And then if you send it to someone, they can lay it flat and still add it into a scrapbook page if you've got photos on it. Okay, so I'm going to also, we're going to, I'm just going to share with you what else we have here. We need 2 red, Poppy Parade it is. Yes, Poppy Parade, that's right. 9.5 by 9.5, so we need 2 of them. That's one for down in this corner and one for up in this corner. So I'm just going to stick this one in, just so you can start seeing how it looks. Now the square that we cut was 10 by 10, so this will have a little border around it. Okay, so you can sort of see you will have a border around that. Okay, and I'm just going to stick the other one on. This is such a beautiful layout if you do it as a scrapbook page, or if you've got that special friend, you can send it to her as a card and then she can use it in her scrapbook, her own scrapbooking, which is really good. Okay, so then we've got to stick on the little ones, which I put them all together a little bit earlier, and I've decided to go with the Designer Series paper, not photos on all of them, but I will show you what it looks like if we do place photos on them. It looks really lovely as well, so I'm just going to leave that photo there for a minute. Now when you're actually using Designer Series paper, you'll need to sort of work out where you want to place your little squares. The ones with the flowers going up, you might want them towards the top, and you might want some towards the bottom, so just place them where you want. It depends, you can use all different Designer Series papers, so I've just got this beautiful poppy paper and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I might actually pop that one in there. And it's just a really lovely paper. So I'm going to pop this one down the bottom here. Now we are doing this one tomorrow in class, but we're doing it with the bumblebee, and oh, just to die for. I just love the way it's turned out. Also turned out really, really beautiful. So I think it doesn't matter which way you do the card or what paper you use, they're all going to turn out beautiful. Okay, so that's placing down our 7. So when I say they're 5 inches, that's the black mat at the bottom as well, which is your basic main card. Now you can add photos if you want to, so you can take a photo and you can sort of trim it, and our little special paper trimmer is really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to trim probably about 1.5 centimetres off this side, and then I'm going to bring it across to 8 centimetres. Hold it down. And then it's going to be 8 centimetres. So I'll probably take off 1 centimetre at the top and then turn it around and take 1 centimetre off the bottom, so it's 8 centimetres. That gives me a pretty perfect photo of Melissa and her little baby in the centre. Now with this you can put your designer series paper around it as well if you wanted to. You could mat it with that, or you can still mat your photo with your basic black card and pop it in the centre. So we're going to do that. I've just got to find the other basic black. Okay, so we're going to pop the photos on there. Just got to work out which way I want the photos. I think I want that one down there and that one up there. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to glue the photo onto basic black mat, as I call it. Okay. Now, if you were doing this as a card, you would decorate up this side with words, more than likely, and this side as the front of the card. So you would decorate it up that way. But I just love these, what I used to call a scrapper card in my shop years and years ago when I had a scrapbooking shop, way before Stampin' Up days. Yeah, so I used to call these a scrapper card, and we used to make lots of them in the shop. Lots of people used to love these because you can do them, like I said, 12 by 12. This is half of virtually a 12 by 12. I've been pulling out a lot of old patterns that I had when I was in my shop to redo. Now you can sort of see how beautiful that is already, and you can, like I said, add photos in these parts too, but you could also decorate it up with the poppies as well. You can have the poppies coming over, and we have our dies with the poppies as well, so you can actually bring the die cut in, so you could actually decorate that up. So I'm just going to show you how I would glue this on. So I would actually turn it on the wrong side, and I would use the snail and add that to my die cut. Just remember, die cuts are very fiddly, and just be mindful that they can break. So you don't want to pull too hard. Just turn it over and just rub very gently to get any excess glue off before you stick it onto your paper. Okay, so it will just peel up. I just got a little bit in that corner. Okay, so what I've done is I've used the reverse side of the poppy paper because it's plain red, and how gorgeous is that? It just fits in so well and matches in with it so beautifully. So I'm just going to bring this in here. So you can bring in a poppy there. So I'm going to find my dimensions. I did clean up again, and every time I clean up I put my dimensions somewhere else. Okay, so I'm just going to stick a dimension or two on the back, and you can start decorating it how you want. I'm going to pop that on that side, and we have a big dimension in here which we can do, but just remember when you're doing it, you've got cards that pop out, so you might want to bring this one down the bottom here. Okay, so we'll get our big one. Once again, I die cutted it out of the same paper, so we're just going to measure that up, which way it goes, the right way or the wrong way. Sorry, I feel like I'm well, we will get it in a minute. This is what, just got to make sure your die is around the right way. Okay, we have got it. Make sure your die is around the right way, and once again we're going to then turn it upside down because we want to snail the bottom. And I will probably just put a little bit on each of these bigger pieces and not worry about the littler pieces. Once again, just turn it over and just rub between the inside there, so and line it up. Beautiful. Goes on better when you know which way it's going. And then a couple of dimensions on that as well. You don't need a lot of dimensions, but you just have to be mindful of, what do you have to be mindful of? You have to be mindful of where the cards are popping out. Okay, so how the card's popping out. So this one would probably go in that section there. And I'll probably just bring it up a little bit. And I've got a dimension there and a dimension there. So you've got your dimension framing that, and then I've got one more small one here that I'm going to pop around. But here it is. I was going to say I've just got to find the little frame. So make sure you've got your frame around the right way again with the flower. It makes it easier to make sure you've got it the right way around. Okay, upside down and some snail. Turn it back around the other way onto the silicone mat and just rub, because just rubbing it takes away this snail and it pushes it back underneath, which is really clever. I just love the way that works. And then you can stick this down onto your flower as well. A couple of dimensions at the back. And the thing that I love about the flowers is it blends in with the paper, because we've used the other side of it, so it looks really lovely. So we bring it this way, and you know this is going to bend over, so that's why I haven't glued all that down just yet. Okay, but it can also sit up a little bit. Okay, so we've got this one, and we want this one probably in around here somewhere. That looks pretty good. Okay, so this is our, what I call a scrapper card. Now you can add words onto that as well, and you can put, you know, we have lots of different stamp sets that have solid words like "you matter," "be strong," "be happy," "be you." If you wanted to, you could stamp them out and cut them around and use them, but I am going to leave that for my daughter, and I hope you enjoyed making a scrapper card today with your photos and how to draw the pattern up. That was very quick, and you got this beautiful scrapper card that you can put into your scrapbook album, and I love scrapper cards, and you can do another one the same size because then it becomes 12 by 12, and you can actually lay it down into your scrapbook. But you can also send it to a friend if you put their photos in as a gift. So I hope you enjoyed today, and until next time, we'll see you soon. Catch you later.